is prohibited.
You're listening to WNJC 1360 AM in Washington Township, New Jersey.
Radio and internet land. Oh yes, it is I, the Mystic, coming to you live, and I mean it. Not a tape tonight. Oh no, my brothers and sisters. Tonight we are truly live. Oh yes. And we are, of course, broadcasting to you live through WNJC 1360 AM on your dials, folks, the fastest growing station in the Delaware Valley. Right here. And, of course, we are also streaming the station through themysticsrealm.com, as well as 1360 website, and Ray Davis's website, I think, is actually. So we have a lot of venues here, folks, that's broadcasting us. Oh, yes. And you. Because you guys are calling in tonight. I just sense it already. So let's go ahead and get through all the amenities. I got a weird show tonight, folks. Some weird stuff is going on, and I want to share it with you, of course, because you're my people, and I love you. Okay, first off, my live appearances. I'm definitely appearing this coming Thursday over at Dempster's, as I did last week. I'll tell you, it was a heck of a time. A lot of people showing up over the new year, getting, finding out about 2008, and who could blame them? And who better to see, right? I'm kidding. But, it's been a really great time out there. Lots of food being slung around, and, of course, lots of destiny over there at Dempster's Sports Bar and Restaurant. Now, that's in Mount Holly, New Jersey. And you guys can come in from 7 to 10, get anything on the menu, and you get a free psychic reading with me. That's a pretty cool deal. Now, a couple other things going on. Oh, also, I want to welcome a brand new sponsor, my brothers and sisters. This is actually a website called gamesforloving.com. That's www.gamesforloving.com. Now, if you're a single person out there, I wouldn't recommend this. But for those couples out there, okay, that want to, add a little spice to their relationships, etc., this is definitely the way to do it. It's very nice. It's very intimate. It's not all about sex and craziness. I mean, there's, a lot of stuff there. I was actually sent a copy to take a look at because I wanted to make sure that it was, legit for you guys. I didn't want to bring you any smut or anything. But check it out. It's called gamesforloving.com, and they have a game there called Bliss. And it's like, basically it's like Monopoly with a with a little adult themes in there. And it looks like it's a lot of fun, and I would recommend it to any couple that's, been together for any length of time, whether you want to get to know each other even better or, you think you might be working in a rut, or, just wanting to add some spice, I highly recommend this game, folks. Again, it's called GamesForLoving.com is the website, and the game is called Bliss. And we should have a commercial ready for you guys on that next week, so listen up for it. Okay? Other than that, I think that's pretty much everything. I will tell you that I am working a couple shows over in Clementon for all you people out that way. I am working on something, but I'll be able to know more and be able to give it to you next week. Or just check my website. I should have something up there this week on that, too. Okay? So there you have it, my brothers and sisters. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention is, if you guys recall, those of you that are my hardcore listeners, last year I had this vision that I had actually shared with you listeners about an inmate on death row. The guy's name is Larry Swearingen, and I actually had a vision about this guy last year, right about the same time. Never heard of him, never cared anything about the death penalty one way or the other. In fact, I've always felt that, if they did it and there's no doubt about it, and they have no remorse or whatever, and they're definitely not insane, well then, yeah, I can see it. I've always, had that belief, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth kind of thing, long before I became a minister. But this guy, Larry Swearingen, I don't know, it was just a weird thing. I had this vision of actually being in this person's body, like seeing through his eyes, a few minutes before an execution. And I really had this really strong urge about it, and it was really insane. And I never, again, had any clue about any of this stuff. So what I did was I went on the internet and checked out death penalties, because I thought maybe I might have had a vision of somebody that had already passed. You understand? So when I went and checked out the net, it turns out that the following week there was a guy that was going to be executed in Texas. Big shock. But his name is Larry Swearingen, and he was supposed to be executed for rape and murder, straight up. Now, the thing about this is, I don't know if you guys are aware, but over the past few years there's been, hardcore technology that we've had over the years, and especially with DNA and stuff like that. And we have actually gotten about 100 people out of death row because they were actually innocent people, which is pretty scary. I mean, these people are being put to death, and I'm not saying they're all innocent, but I'm saying, one or two is too many, So, I freaked out when I saw this guy's face, because it was the exact same guy that I had in my vision. So I actually went in and called the governor, got through to the secretary, explained the situation, and said, at least let me leave a voicemail, and I took a big whopping 30 seconds out of my life, and I left this email, and, or voicemail, excuse me. So, the very next day, and I'm not saying that I'm the one that did this. I'm sure there was a lot of other people involved too. But he was granted a stay of execution to take a look at some evidence that was withheld. Okay? So the evidence is mostly DNA stuff that says, it wasn't him. So that's where we're at. But anyway, his execution was stayed. He was granted a stay of execution until this month. This month, for whatever reason, they didn't even look at the evidence that he and his lawyer are trying to push, and they just said, you know what, the stay has been lifted, and it's time for you to go, basically. Now, the only thing that's saving him right now is there's a whole lethal injection thing going on in the Supreme Court, and as soon as that's done, everybody be eligible. But until that time, all executions in this country are on hold. Now, again, this is a really touchy situation because I have always, upheld capital punishment. I've always felt eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth kind of thing. And it was just really weird that I got this vision and then found this guy, and it no question, I know what I saw. And it's given me the creeps even to this day when I think about it. But, I'm assuming, and again, a lot of this stuff is up for interpretation, but I'm assuming God gave me that vision for me to step in, one way or the other. So what I'm doing is I'm getting a hold of some of the investigators and finding out, what the deal is and what I can do to help, folks. And if you guys have any suggestions, or even if you have any money you can donate to the cause, there's all kinds of programs for that. There's Amnesty International and all kinds of stuff. You guys just give them a call and, see what you can do, or at least mention the guy's name. His name's Larry Swearington. And, again, I can't honestly say if the man is guilty or not. I can tell you when I was in that man's body, he felt innocent, like he did not do this. And to me, that was really strong. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why God brought this and threw it into my lap. But I thought I'd give you an update on it because I just found it very interesting. And here it is back in my lap again. So I'm going to see what I can do about it. And, I'll keep you guys updated. Just, check it out if you get a chance. It's a pretty weird story. So there you have it. So those are all my announcements, I think. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and take some calls. We were going to go ahead and go to our sponsors, but we're just going to go ahead and just let anarchy rule the world tonight and go straight to a caller. That sounds like a good time. Let's do that. Caller, you are live. Good evening.
Hey, brother.
Hey, your name?
My name is Paul.
Paul, where are you calling from?
Northern Vermont.
Oh, lovely, lovely area.
Yeah, we're freezing up here. Hey, I think that's really cool about Larry Swearingen. I think the interesting aspect about this is a perfect example of somebody trusting their intuition. I mean, you have this vision, and it was your intuition that you followed.
It truly was. And this is something that, I'll tell you, I push this on my show as often as I can, the difference between the emotion and intuition. And, of course, my emotions were right there saying, you're going to get on the phone with this governor, and you're either going to trip over your tongue or you're going to sound like an idiot. But, I went ahead and I went there, and actually it was voicemail, which made it a little bit easier.
Yeah. No, that's great, though. It's great.
So, that's what happened. But it was just a very odd thing. And at the time that it had happened, which was last year, at the time, fiancé of this guy was actually talking to her girlfriend about what we need to do is get a psychic in here and clear this whole thing up.
Wow.
Do a reading on the DNA and the whole bit. And her name's Kirsten McConnell, and even to now, they apparently parted ways for whatever reason, but she's still involved in the case. It's an innocent man behind bars here that's facing death penalty.
Wow.
And, that's horrible. Now, if he did it,
yeah.
I wouldn't back it, but I don't know if he did it. I honestly, and I'm the honest psychic, I'll be the first one to say it, I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is God put this guy in my lap for whatever reason, so I'm going to do whatever I can to save his life, because it just seems like the right thing to do. What would Jesus do? Well, that's what I think he would do, so I'm just going that route and hoping for the best. Now, I'm supposed to be speaking with a lead investigator that is volunteering their services and time, and I don't really want to give their name until I actually speak with them about it. But I'm hoping to actually get this person on the show in the next couple of weeks, just to kind of push things along a little bit, get a little more documentation on it. I don't know what else to do, But, so that's what's happening. So, northern Vermont, you guys must be freezing up there, yeah?
Yeah, it's cold tonight. Yeah, it's been cold up here, But I think you guys actually get a little more. Well, actually, we have 50 inches. In fact, our town, St. Johnsbury, set a record for December. I think it was the most snow since 1893 or something like that. We had 50 inches in December.
50.
Yeah, 50. Yeah. Well, should I tell you real quickly about a vision I had once?
Sure, we would love to hear that.
Well, my grandmother who was a wonderful, lovely person. In the 80s and early 90s, she developed Alzheimer's and had a real tough time, and she became increasingly irascible and difficult to deal with.
Yes.
And when she passed, you know? And it was a few years later, I had such a distinct vision where she's standing in my kitchen wearing this gray overcoat she used to wear. She used to always chew Wrigley Spearmint. And she looks at me, and she was the only person in the world who called me this one name. She'd call me Slim, which I can assure you in my case is a misnomer. But she looks at me with a big smile, and she says, "Slim, have you forgotten how much I love you?"
Nice.
Yeah, it blew me away. And ever since then, I've been so aware that she's really always there and always with me.
Sure. And, this is something that is a double-edged sword, and I got to tell you why. And this is something that you can count your blessings for, but at the same time, you also have to be extremely wary of. Because, regardless of what you are pretty sure you saw,
yeah,
there are alternatives, and they're not all just scientific explanation alternatives. Some of them can get really hairy.
Yeah.
When people pass, especially ones that, have so much love in their heart for, the person that passed, of course they want to see them. They want to, touch them again. They want to say hello. They want to know what's on the other side. They want to know if there's another side. What I mean? They want to know all these things, okay? Now, in that position, though, and this is true as far as a real basic fundamental law of the universe, is that thoughts are things. And when you wish for something, when you feel that strongly about something, you are opening doors. You are giving out, an open invitation. And a lot of the time, and take it from somebody that deals with a lot of house clearings and things like that on a really strong monthly basis here now, this is something that can be something that you definitely don't want in your house, just as easily. In fact, there's more of a chance of that than there is of it actually being your mother, which is a scary thing. Because
that would be scary.
Well, this is how it happens. Like, a lot of people think it happens with Ouija boards and stuff like that. Yes, that's true, but that's not the only venue. A lot of times all you need is, for example, someone like yourself who is a very spiritual person and a very spiritually open person, right, to have the ability to generate the magic, if you will, to make something like that happen. And it happens a lot. It happens more so than anything else. And I'll tell you something else. Had your mother done the right things in life, okay, she's going to go to exactly where she's supposed to go according to her own merits. People do not get stuck here. People do not get trapped here. That is a bunch of malarkey. That is craziness. That never happens. Now, they can influence from where they are.
Yeah.
And there's a great chance that that's what happened, straight up. She felt you needed a little extra something. And
wow.
There's a very good chance of that happening. So, again, count your blessings on that aspect.
Yeah, okay.
But also be aware that, the more you hope for something like that, the more you wish for something like that, the more you can create a way for something, and I'm holding up my fingers in parentheses here, something to come through.
I see.
And it happens a lot, especially when it comes to teenagers, because, they do. They play with the music and the Ouija boards, and they ride out and, experiment with all kinds of weird stuff. And, sometimes some even think the devil's cool and, just whatever.
Yeah.
That still happens to this very day. It happened in my day, it happened in your day, it happens now, still to this day. So, this is just, a lot of times it's a phase, but they don't realize that this phase is opening doors. And it's opening doors to, most of the time, it's opening to doors to places where entities there want to get out.
I see.
You know, so that's something that we all have to be careful of, not just you, obviously, but, you know, this is something that, you know, we have to realize that when, you know, it's their time to go, it's their time to go. And a lot of things can happen at that point, you know. They could go, you know, to wherever they're supposed to go, as I said, according to their own merits. There's also a very good chance if there's another job that they have to do, guess what? It could be right back here, boink, you know. Taking care of business all over again. It happens, especially to people with destiny. You know, they run the show many, many, many times.
Wow.
So, you know, there's a lot to learn.
Spirituality
is a vast universe of knowledge. But, you know, the trick to it all is simplifying it. You know, keep it simple. Don't try to, you know, express how this corner reaches into that zone, into that realm, into that existence, and just keep it simple. And it helps a lot.
All right, brother.
Yeah. So, what is it you really want to know tonight, my brother? How can I really help?
Well, I know you have probably a lot of callers, so I would just ask for a general reading.
You got it, my brother. I will be more than happy to do that for you. All the way from Vermont. I'm actually from New Hampshire, and it's, you know, right around the corner from you guys.
What's that now?
I was actually born in Laconia, New Hampshire, which is...
Oh, that is around the corner. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so, lovely area. I'm very familiar with it. Okay, wow. Very interesting. You know, this is something, you know, this is yet another great lesson of the Spirit that can be relayed tonight, my brother, so I'm really glad you got to call. One of the things that you're dealing with, and this is really your main focus right now, is your finances, because you've got a really creative brain right now, and you're using that creative brain in order to try to find a way to make bigger, better things happen for yourself. And what's really interesting about that is it is working for you, and the only reason why it's working for you is because you're not really focused on the money aspect of it. You understand? You're more focused on the product and the strength behind it, and you know how quickly you can move and that whole bit, and the money just kind of comes along with it. You follow me?
I definitely follow you. Yeah.
This is exactly, you know, a great formula to work with. And this will work, you know, in any aspect of life. As long as, you know, you're pushing yourself to your limit, as long as you're pushing your talents and everything you got going on and pushing that, you can't go wrong. You can't fail. You know, this is what you're born to do. So I really sense that's exactly what's happening here. And this is great stuff. And it's helped you navigate, you know, in the past, alter your past. This is what made it happen for you, you know. And the big recent event that happened, though, is I think I think you realized that a lot of your goals were too easy.
Wow.
You know, and that is a great lesson to learn because, you know, here we're talking about, you know, reaching higher standards, reaching higher goals, and of course, always moving in the progress. You know what I mean?
Yes,
in the process, you'll be always moving. You'll always be reaching. You'll always be, you know, hitting that next plateau. And this is a beautiful thing. But I have to tell you that right now, and this is coming up for you pretty quick here. You know, you're running on a fate call. This is not happening by chance. This is not, you know, a crapshoot that you just happen to fall into this position. You focus very hard and you're funneling through a lot of crap in order to get to the bottom of this mess. You are going to get that, okay? But I don't think you're going to be able to take a lot of people with you.
Understood.
Okay. So, you know, be ready for that. And I think there's actually going to be some bitterness involved because of that.
Wow.
I really sense that, too.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something you're going to have to be aware of.
Sure.
Now, other than that, though, I mean, you're very grounded. You've got a lot of focus there. As far as your home, I think you've just gotten the black cloud lifted from it.
Yeah, wow, it's interesting you say that.
I do sense that. And as far as your emotional side, which is what we were talking about at the beginning of this mess, you have a lot less misery, you have a lot less torment about you, my brother, than you've had for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a beautiful thing, man. You're I think what it all boils down to, if I could take the whole thing and just put it down to a sentence, is I think you're recognizing and being thankful for the gifts that God has given you. And that, my brother, is a beautiful thing. That's
like a big dog, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's what I see for you generally there.
That's beautiful. I love that. One real quick question.
Sure.
Then I'm out of your hair.
Sure.
The piano. I played piano for a couple of years. I'd really like to perform. What do you see happening with that?
Well, see, this is a thing here. You've been playing the piano for a couple of years, which is great. And, art, music, these are all great vents. And as I said, you're working your creativity right now, and you're looking for all kinds of different, ways to promote yourself, so to speak. But, my brother, that's the whole key to it, is promotion, promotion, promotion. You got to push yourself. You have to believe in yourself, and then you have to make others believe that you believe in yourself, and that they should believe in you too. And that's the hardest part of the game.
Yeah, wow.
That's the hardest part of the music industry is that aspect, getting everybody else to think that your poop doesn't stink either.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So, I like that.
Right now, this is going to be your focus. Play for some people that can connect you with other people.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Work that connection game right now.
Yep.
Because that's a really good gig. You can play for a whole 100 people in a bar, but if they don't have any connections, what good does it do you?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, this is the gig. Now, the next thing you might want to do, too, obviously, is put out some ads. And there's a ton of them on the net, where you're a keyboard player looking for a gig.
Yeah.
That's your next step. It's real easy to, get out there and play. It's just really hard to get out there and keep getting out there and getting paid doing it,
Yeah. Yeah.
But my suggestion is go ahead and do your own thing, but while you're doing it, you may want to hook up with some guys that play some cover stuff, because those people do get paid, and it's a great experience for you. Because you already know what the other stuff sounds like, and it's a little bit easier to, run with.
Yeah.
You understand?
Brother, I want to thank you so much. The one last thing I wanted to say, I enjoy your show enormously. But one of the things, you're talking about believing in yourself, I really appreciate that you are not afraid to poke a little fun at yourself.
I have absolutely no problem with that one.
No, you don't. And it really comes through with that whole mirth and self-laughter and, hey, look at me and laugh with me. And it's wonderful. And I really like that. And, brother, you keep the faith and have a good one. And I shall continue to enjoy your show.
Thank you so much for calling, man, all the way out there in Vermont, and say hello to all of my Vermont peoples out there.
Will do, brother.
God bless you and your entire family.
God bless you and yours.
Thank you.
Good night, brother.
Bye-bye. Wow, that was a great call. All the way out there in Vermont, folks. It's a beautiful territory. If you haven't been, I highly recommend going. Okay, so there you have it. And, he's right. I do have a lot of laughs on this show. And the reason why is because, life is a very serious thing, and I have all the seriousness in the world when it comes to dealing with your lives, But it's also, life is meant to be looked at with love and light and laughter and joy. And, life is not this big, heavy, gigantic burden that so many people out there, think that it is. So, and I know everybody out there listening tonight knows somebody out there that feels that life is nothing but a burden. And I want you to, when you get a chance in the next week or so, I want you guys to go out there and, give them a big old hug from me and say, hey, life is meant to be enjoyed. Do that. I'm telling you, it'll work. So we do have another caller on the line, and we are just going to keep going. We're on a caller marathon, I guess. It's going to be great stuff, folks. So let's take this next caller. Caller, you are live. Good evening.
Mystic.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I am very well, thank you so much. Your name?
Dennis. I haven't talked to you since last time I spoke to you was when you got married.
Wow, it has been many moons.
Been a while. Yeah, well, many things have been happening, and that's why I'm calling you.
Fantastic.
I just wanted to, a loved one of mine that passed away last month, and I just wanted to find out if you feel anything, if there's any messages or anything, or...
Okay, wow, you're really putting me on a spot here. You know, these readings are usually pretty quick and pretty general, you know.
Okay.
We will
well, I mean, as much as you can give me, is that fine? I mean...
See, what I'm picking up, and I will tell you, brother, stand by one moment, please.
Sure.
I am actually picking up something here, and this is unusual because I don't know if... Stand by one more moment.
Sure.
All my listeners are all like on suspense. No, I don't think I've ever received a message, you know, like this in this venue on my show before. So this is really interesting. What I'm picking up, wow. Okay. First off, what I'm seeing here is a lot of force. Okay, and I think this force is actually more like an emotion, like an emotional response to something, you know, and it continues for 2/3 of this event, and then at the very end is a super drastic change here. Stand by a second. There's some rocking that I'm seeing here. You know what, my brother? I'll tell you what we're going to be able to do for you. I am picking up something, but I don't think that this is the proper venue for that. Where are you calling me from?
South Philadelphia.
Okay, you're from South Philly. That's right. Here's what I think because...
Well, is it negative? Is that what it is?
I don't think it's negative, but I think that she was on the verge of something negative. Like she was trying to fix something or clear something or play hero somehow. I'm not sure what I'm picking up here.
You mentioned she, and it was a she. It was my mom. I didn't tell you whether it was a she or a he, but you said that it's a she, and it was.
Oh yeah, it's definitely your mother, no question. But it's not a negative thing. But I think she was. This is very strange. I'm picking up something that she was involved in, like I almost want to say an investigation that she was undertaking herself. And I really don't want to get too involved in this on the air. So what I want to do is I do want to give you my number, and you know I will be willing to chat with you for free for a few minutes after the show.
Okay, great. Please do, yes.
Because I feel there's some stuff there that may not want to be aired.
No, if you want, it's fine. I have no qualms about anybody listening. It's fine.
Right, I understand you don't.
But she might have a problem with it.
I think somebody else that may actually be listening might.
Well, my brother is listening, if that's what it's about.
Yeah, there's a couple things that I'm seeing here that just don't jive, my brother.
Huh.
And,
okay.
And it's dealing with some extended family. I honestly feel that she was trying to prove something about somebody else. And I think there's more to it. Like, I understand, the circumstances of her death, but there was somebody else's death that I'm seeing here.
Somebody else's death?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'll talk to you off the... do you want me to call you off the air? You'll still be in the studio, or...?
I do. I will make sure that Karen gets your information,
Okay.
Karen, the lovely Karen, my sound engineer, can get your information, and I will give you a call immediately after the show.
Okay, I'll give you my number. And there's one more quick thing that
Yes.
because I know you're running out of time. I'm planning something in May. Should I go through with this? Will it be a bust? Will it be a benefit or to me? Or, I mean, should I go through with this? Or
stand by, and we shall see what we shall see for you, my brother. Okay. Wow. What I'm seeing here, you're saying when are you doing this?
May 24th.
And you said you're starting something? Because, I don't know, this seems more like a restoration for you.
Well, yeah, it is a restoration. Well, really, it is, because all the years that I took care of my mom, now it's like I'm having the freedom, well, I mean, I hate to use that word, but the freedom to do what I was postponing all these years.
You've got it now, brother. Don't feel at all any type of remorse.
Oh, no, I don't. Absolutely not.
I mean, you say it, dude. You've got the freedom now. You have paid your dues, my brother. Believe me, you have paid your dues, and yes, call it freedom, and be proud to call it freedom, and be proud that you've got it, because, this is the whole gig here, brother. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing more than anything else is restoration of life, more than, something really new here. Now, I will tell you that you're going to have a lot of reality checks over the next several months. All right? In other words, things that, regardless of how spiritual you are, it's not going to make a difference. You're going to have to deal with some of the reality of things over the next several months, and I don't think it's going to be very fun for you. I will also tell you that as this is going on, it's going to seem like you're going to be rubbing some people the wrong way. So, make sure you keep a check on that. You don't want to lose somebody that you want to keep, obviously.
What was that again? I'm sorry, you were breaking up. I'm sorry.
I said you don't want to lose somebody that you obviously would want to keep. So, over the next several months, I really sense...
well, that would be up to them, really.
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like it's a change in chemistry with you here.
It is. I'm beginning to... I don't know. I guess other people around me are stagnant, and I'm just growing, and I guess, and they're staying where they are, and they're happy being where they are, and I'm not.
Now, see, this is the beautiful thing. But, and believe me, I think everybody out there that's listening tonight, because I truly feel that everybody out there that tunes into this show is a person of destiny. Like, they want to, they're in the same boat as you are, as I am, that, we're surrounded by people that don't want to progress, that don't want to, move forward with their existence, not just life, but existence. And there's a lot of them out there, and unfortunately, we are the minority. I do not doubt that at all.
Well, I don't want to hog up the phone line here, and I'll wait for your phone call, Mr. Okay?
Oh, no, stick with me for just another moment. My point here is that, you have to understand that as we go through this, yes, these people are not on the same destiny path as you, all right? But you obviously can't pity them for that, because that's their existence and you have yours.
Well, they try to make you feel guilty. That's the problem.
Yes, of course. But my point is you can't let that happen, because they have every opportunity to make the changes just as you have.
Right.
So don't show them that pity, dude. Stay focused on your freedom, and, God, go out there and really, really, really enjoy yourself now, brother.
I plan to. And as far as that message that you have for me, I think things are clicking now, and I think, well, I'll wait for your phone call to see if it's confirmed about, what you see, because I'm getting, there's something that was said before she had said to somebody else before she passed. I wasn't present. And so I guess that there's something, it's beginning to click now, but I'll wait for your phone call to try to, to see what you have to say.
I will be darn sure that Karen gets that information. Lovely Karen, are you there, dear?
I'm here.
Can you make sure that you get that info for me? See, you are a doll. Fantastic. Well, stay on the line, and we will take great care of you. And, folks, I think what we are going to do, my brother, and, of course, God bless you and your entire family, and I will be speaking with you immediately after the show. But in the meantime, for the rest of you folks, I want you guys to stick around, and we'll get these commercials out of the way, and hopefully we'll be able to sling a little more destiny. Stick around.
The Sketch Club. Affordable ticket prices, intimate seating in a historical building, and plenty of free parking. Conveniently located in downtown Woodbury, a few blocks from Route 45 on the corner of Glover and Logan Streets. We're celebrating the 73rd consecutive season, bringing you the best in theater and live entertainment. For performance dates and times, call our 24-hour hotline at 856-848-8089. Performances run from Thursday to Saturday evening and a Sunday matinee at 2 p.m. Sketch Club is a non-profit community theater, the oldest running in South Jersey, and we're always looking for volunteers, actors, set builders, writers, and more. All creative minds are welcomed at the Sketch Club. Call us at 856-848-8089 or check us out on the web at www.sketchclub.net. Come and experience live theater with us, Sketch Club players. That number again is 856-848-8089.
Hannah boy! Hi, Grandpa. What's the matter? My girl's such a pain. She's got all this stuff to do before the wedding, and she's put me in charge of getting the wedding invitations printed. I don't know about any of this stuff. You need copies and more. Tell me about it. I also have to get all the flyers for the softball game this Saturday done. Yep, you need copies and more. Yes, I heard you. And what's more, I have to get print-ups of this year's quarterly at my firm. There's no way I'm going to have it all ready. What am I going to do? You need copies and more! I know I need copies and more. I'm not an idiot. Sure you are! Copies and More is the one-stop shop for all your printing needs. Flyers, invitations, presentations, even posters and magnets. Everything can be done at Copies and More. Good prices, too. Give them a call at 856-845-6770. They'll take good care of you over there. Thanks, I will. Now don't forget that's Copies and More at 240 South Broadway in Woodbury, New Jersey at 856-845-6770. Thanks, Copies and More. And here I thought you were repeating yourself because you were losing it. No, I ain't the one who got stuck doing wedding invitations. Grandpa. That's Copies and More at 856-845-6770.
We last left our hero high in the Himalayas, seeking truth from the wise wizard who lives there.
God, I hope this guy's home. Hello, anyone there?
I am the wizard who holds the answer to which you seek. Behold, I give you the Sword of Destiny.
Yes, it's very nice, but that's not why I'm here.
Ah, you seek the Holy Grail, of course. Now, where did I put that
no, that's not why I'm here either. I'm just looking to find a deal on computers.
Well, that's easy. Quartz Computers at 856-656-0443 are here for all your PC needs. Upgrades, repairs, all done on site. Even most warranties are honored. Check out their website at www.quartzcomputers.com or call them at 856-656-0443.
Quartz Computers, thanks a lot. Now, how do I get out of here?
I wish I knew.
That's quartzcomputers.com at 856-656-0443. Just look for the wizard in the ad.
Greetings to you. I am the Mystic. Thanks for tuning into my show each week, but it's only an hour show, and I know many of you miss out on the chance for your reading with me. So, I am available for private sessions, as well as parties, seminars, and benefits, of course. Give me a call at 856-803-4463, and I will assist you in all matters of love, life, health, success, and destiny. As an ordained minister of 9 years, I can also perform blessings and house clearings for the most memorable custom wedding created especially for you. Call 856-803-4463, and you can also reach me through my website at www.themysticsrealm.com. Feel the awesome power of a true psychic reading. To be knowledgeable about what is to come in your life is to be better prepared for it, and I will show you how to achieve better living through the Spirit. That number again is 856-803-4463, and I look forward to reading you.
And we are are back here on the Mystic Hour, Tri-State area, and the world's free call-in live psychic talk show. Folks, let me give you those call numbers again. I haven't done that all evening. I've just been babbling away. 856-227-1360, and, of course, 856-232-7077. Those numbers again, 856-227-1360. And 856-232-7077. It's just that easy, folks. And you can get a free psychic reading with me. And you won't have to hear as much of my incessant babbling, I guess. So, folks, again, I want to thank everybody that came out to Dempster's last week. Wow, that place was a madhouse. We just had such a great time over there. I always have a great time over there. Everybody's so nice to me. But, yeah, I will be back there again, and I can't wait, folks. It is always an amazing time over there. Now, you know, coming back, these past readings, you know, have been really strong as far as, you know, acting on impulse, acting on instinct. And, you know, it works for all the animals, all of them. The ants, the birds, the bees, the elephants. Oh, yes, even the elephants. All of them act on instinct. And sure, it happens. Once in a while, something gets eaten. It happens. It happens. It happens in the wild. But what it really boils down to is the more you follow your instinct, your, you know, gut, the more in harmony you'll be with nature, with the animals, you know, because a lot of these animals, they pick up your emotions. They pick it up. They know if you're in a good mood, bad mood. You know, you're all bummed out. Your dog comes, puts his head on your lap. He knows, right? Cats, another prime thing, you know. Cats are actually supposed to be one of the more psychic of all the animals. I don't know how true that is. I've never tested one, but it's been said. But, you know, animals do pick up, you know, emotion and instinctive responses. You know, they do. They all pick it up. And we would too. In fact, some of us do. Some of us that, you know, like myself, you know, my job is to pick up on not just my intuition, but other people's as well, you know. But other people out there, car salesmen, for example, you know, they see somebody on the lot, their gut tells them whether that's a looker or a buyer or whatever, you know. You know, so, you know, this is another prime example. Police officers, you know, very instinctive job. If you get emotional out there, you're bound to make a mistake. So, you know, this is another prime example of how, you know, important it is for all of us to follow what our instinct tells us. And I'll tell you what else, too, you know, you'll be glad you did. Because the more you follow your instinct, the more you follow what your soul is telling you, the more you're actually following the plan that God has given you. And things will progress. You will see things happen that you never imagined happening. I myself took a trip to Chicago and got to go to NBC Studios and talk with producers there, and it was just an amazing time. I'll tell you why later. It's a long story, but it's a very interesting one, a lot of fun. So, you know, but as long as you keep progressing, as long as you keep focusing on your instinct, you will progress. You will move forward. You will go to the next step. You will start living in a bigger, better place. You will have a bigger, better car. You will have a you know, better girlfriend. You will have pretty much everything that you would want with quality. You'll have. All you have to do is follow God's plan. And the only way to do that is by following your instinct. Because all the other animals do it. They're all following God's plan. And they're perfectly safe and fine, and life is good for them. Except when we come in and start screwing things up. You know, because all the problems we have, you think the lions and the tigers and the bears, oh my, are responsible for the ozone layer? Nope. That would be us. Why? Because instead of following our instinct, our emotions get involved and say, ooh, money. We can make money. Let's do it this way. You know, and that's horrible. But that's what happens when you let your emotions take control. And our emotions have taken control on many, many occasions, you know. And yet, instinct, somehow, some way, because of God and His infinite wisdom, He manages to come up with a way to tweak the system and readjust everything and get everything back on track again. And that's what He does. That's His job, is to see that everything keeps running smoothly. And that's with the entire universe. And that's what's really interesting, is even like physicists and quantum physicists, you know, they say, oh yeah, life is random and chaotic and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But they can't deny something's tweaking it. Something's adjusting the stuff. Or we'd have blown ourselves up 100 times if somebody wouldn't have stepped in somewhere. No question. Somebody had to go and step in. Somebody had to. You know, and it's happened many, many, many times. Unfortunately, the only way to fix the problem that we have now, you know, they say, oh, we could fix it if we, you know, stop burning oil and you know, the whole bit, and stop using so much pollution and destroying the ozone. It's too late for that, folks. I have news for all of you. Okay? It's too late for that. And that's sad. No. The only way, as sad and as sickening as it sounds, the only way to fix a problem of this magnitude is to literally get rid of a lot of people. That's it. And according to everything that's gone on throughout the world all this time, we are due for some of that. Okay? It's already started. Look at that earthquake that caused that tidal wave in Southeast Asia that I predicted. You know, thousands and thousands and thousands would die, I said. And sure enough, the number was 250,000 plus people. And, I mean, folks, we're talking in almost, you know, in an instant, 250,000 people were gone. And that was just one little incident. Now, I got news for you. We have huge populations on fault lines here in this country. We have huge populations in the Middle East. And the Middle East is nothing but a desert, which used to be ocean floor. So what does that tell you? You know? They talk about, oh, the great floods of Noah and da-da-da. Yeah, the entire Middle East was probably underwater. No question. And it's going to happen again. And nobody cares. That's the interesting thing about it. Like, you know, they talk about everything else. Oh, yeah, we'll just get, you know, hybrid cars. That's not going to solve the problem now. It's too late for that. If we did that a couple hundred, you know, years ago, instead of burning coal and all this other crap, you know, maybe. But we had to stay warm. We had to, you know, wear our furs and our fires, and, you know, eventually we had to build our factories and then build cars and all this other craziness. And, you know, it had to be done according to what we thought was right. You know, our technology is killing us. And now, you know, there's no way back. So the only way to really fix the entire problem is to start over. And that's a horrible thing. But according to the book of Revelation, that's the score. And who do we have to blame? Well, everybody. You know, nobody's not to blame here. You know, everybody's guilty. And that's okay, you know. But now, while this is happening, there's only one way that we can, as a person, can ensure any type of survival at all. And a bomb shelter isn't going to do it. You know. Converting to, you know, Islam is not going to do it. It's not going to do it. What you have to convert to is love. That's it. love for your God, and especially love for yourself. And I say especially love for yourself because that's what God wants. God wants you to love yourself and recognize, as I was telling that last caller, that, you are the one. That you should be patting yourself on the back every day just because you exist. You should be happy, you should be thankful, and you should share the wealth. That's the deal. Be glad that you're alive. Be happy that you're alive. Show that love for yourself and for existence in your heart each and every day. You do this, regardless of what happens. Because I'm telling you, folks, it's not that hard to do. It's a beautiful life out there. It really is. I've traveled this country several times. I've been out of this country a few times. And it's a wonderful world we live on. But it's very small in the big scheme of things, folks. There's billions and billions and billions and billions of worlds out there. But, this one, we have to focus on survival. And the only way we're going to have any type of survival at all is spiritually. And things like this, this mess here with Larry Swearingen, this poor guy, I honestly feel he is innocent of his crimes, regardless of what was found where. I mean, I've heard of police planting evidence a lot, and for whatever reason, I feel that God wants me to step into this guy's life. So that's what I'm doing. If you guys would like to help, I'm sure you guys can get on the net and just type in his name, Larry Swearingen, and, look him up. Look up his case, and, it's a brutal thing that happened to this poor girl. She was 19 years old. Her name was Melissa Trotter, and she was strangled, and she was raped, and she was dumped in a forest. And it's a horrible, horrible, tragic thing to happen to anyone. And I do hope that they catch the guy that does it, and I do hope that, the guilty parties are brought to justice, and even if that includes capital punishment. I just don't know if this is the guy. I personally don't think so. And that's a weird thing, Why God brought this guy, of all the people in all the world, he brought this guy into my lap, I don't know. But, Larry, if you can get this, I will tell you that I will do everything I can to help. Whatever that may be. Again, I've already, made some calls on this, and I'm going to let you guys, in on the whole thing. I'm going to let you guys know from beginning to end exactly how this goes. And maybe together, my listeners and I, together, we can find out why this guy was brought into my life, or I his, or whatever. I mean, who knows? I don't know. It wasn't me, but I don't think it was him. So, it's just a weird thing that happened. It really was. And, if you guys have a computer, what I want you to do later on tonight is go to YouTube, and you can actually check out my personal channel. It's simply The Mystic's Realm. You go to youtube.com/The Mystic's Realm, and there's a slew of episodes, probably 25 episodes, 26 maybe episodes of The Mystic Hour on there. And you can watch them all in its entirety. But it does include my vision of this death row inmate. So if you get a chance, go and check it out, because it really spooked me at the time. And, I thought for sure they would review the evidence and at least, decide one way or the other, what they were going to do with this guy. And instead, they didn't even look at the evidence, which includes DNA. And, if you guys have seen the news at all, DNA has cleared up a lot of cases. It's also convicted a few more people, but it's also cleared a few, which is great, because I think death row is there for the guilty, not the innocent, and we can get into moral issues about whether the death penalty is right or not. I don't even want to get into that. It's not even a question of that with me. Every state has its own gig, and New Jersey, I'll have you guys know, in case you don't, we abolished the death penalty. So that was a pretty cool thing. Okay, I guess we are out of here. I love you all like family. You know this. We will catch you next week. God bless.